Your name, I do
Hello.
not want to butcher your name.
It's okay. So my real name is Niwdayra Tapia, but I do go by Miss Popular or Most Popular, as you said, the host of the Most Popular podcast.
Okay, okay, okay. And I reached out to the beautiful how you pronounce your last name?
Tapia.
Tapia.
Yes.
Tapia. And she responded immediately, and I really appreciate that. She has an interesting story that's all over YouTube. Um, and I'm gonna pretty much just let her tell her story. You know what I mean? But first, I want to ask you, where you originally from?
Well, I'm Puerto Rican. I was born in Puerto Rico, but I was raised in Bronx, New York. So BX all day.
Okay, okay, okay. You got siblings?
Yes, I do. I'm actually the oldest out of all of my siblings. Not only that, I'm the oldest in my entire generation. I have two younger brothers and I have three younger sisters.
Oh, that's what's up. We got
Hmm.
that in common. I'm the oldest of seven.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the
Oldest of
oldest of
six.
seven. I'm the
Cool.
oldest of five I grew up with, and two on my dad's side, so seven. How
Okay.
many you the oldest of?
So we have five. I'm five. So there's a 35-year-old, 34, 29, 26, and a 17-year-old.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So how was your childhood growing up? And where did you grow up at?
Well, like I said, I grew up in the Bronx, New
Okay.
York City, to be exact. My childhood was fun. Like I was a very active kid, dancing, partying. I mean, that's how I became most popular, through the parties. I was always active as far as, I rollerbladed, I skated, I played man hut, all of that, sports, I did sports too,
What was your favorite sport that you did?
I mean, I would say back then I enjoyed playing basketball and kickball. I know kickball is not like a professional
That's
sport, but I
cardio.
love
That's cardio.
kickball, man.
Yeah, that's
But
cardio.
now I would say volleyball. I'm getting into
Volleyball.
volleyball. I've been into volleyball for some time, but now I'm about to join a volleyball team, actually.
That's what's up. So you would say overall you had a normal
I
childhood.
did. I was, and there's no offense to anybody because I'm not perfect. My life is not perfect. I've been through things too in my childhood, but I didn't not really come from a dysfunctional background, as you would say. There was no abuse in my household. It was pretty normal. Well, at least I thought.
So you had mom and dad.
Yes, I grew up with my mom and my
You
dad.
a daddy girl.
I'm a daddy's girl. I am. I can't even deny it. I love my daddy. Like when I get around my dad, I turn into a little baby. I do. But I am a big mama's girl too. I'm a mama's
So it's a
girl.
balance.
It is a balance. When I'm with my dad is 100.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. My mom and I we just like this. Like her birthday is July 26th. My birthday is July 28th. So we just like so much alike.
hmm
You know.
Yeah. Oh, so July. So all right. So both of y'all Leos.
We are
And
Leos,
what's your
big
dad sign?
Leos. My dad, he's a Capricorn.
Oh, he a
December
Capricorn.
25th, a birthday.
December 25th.
Excuse me, a Christmas baby.
Okay, Christmas baby.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
my mom's birthday is December 28th. She a Capricorn,
Ooh,
and I
December
got a
28th.
Capricorn stellium.
Do you?
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
Capricorn stellium. So,
Well, December 28th is definitely a very, very significant date in my life, too.
oh, okay, yeah, for
Actually.
sure. We definitely gonna get there. All right, so that's what's up, man. Let's go to the next. Um, okay, so how did you meet your ex?
um, I had a lot of ex. Which ones? No, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, all right. Well, look, I gotta take it back then. How old was you when you first had a boyfriend? Then, when was your first boyfriend?
My first bam. Try me on the spot.
Yeah, when was your first boyfriend?
Um, I mean, there was this boy that I loved from the age of 8 all the way to the age of 14. Like that was my first boyfriend, you would say. He was my first kiss. My first everything. There's only one thing he wasn't my first stuff, but it's too exclusive.
Okay, okay,
I don't
okay.
want to get R rated.
That's cool.
It's funny because he's like, I was your first everything except that.
Yeah.
Hey.
But you know
um,
how spirit works, though.
right.
You know how spirit works. You'll never forget about it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but yeah, I was obsessed with this little boy from all those years. We definitely loved each other, and like I said, I was a kid, so it wasn't like a real relationship, but we definitely understood the value of loving and caring for each other. You know, we were kids, we played games, we all types of games. I'm talking about from video games to outside games. Like I had a real good childhood with this boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay. So
But you know, I would say, you know, my last boyfriend, which brings me back to that date, December 28th, 2024. I started dating him in the beginning of January 2023. Yep.
okay. So January 2023. Okay. So what type of guys was you drawn to growing up? Like, was it hood dudes? Was it nerds? Was it, you know what I mean? Like, I know everybody got their
You
kind of
know,
they type. You know what I mean?
that's so crazy
You
you
drawn to,
asked that because it's like
or is everybody?
what I want
Women?
versus what I'm drawn to. It's just like I don't know. Like people say, like I have this mothering spirit, which I do, you know, based on my spirituality.
You attract people that need healing.
Yes, and it's like I'm over it. Like I don't want to help nobody. Like not in that sense. Like
I get
I
you.
don't want to be a mother. Like help, help
Right.
me. The hell, take care of me. And I don't mean taking care as far as like me taking care of a man, how they
I
say.
know what you
I
mean.
mean just mentally, emotionally. You know, I attract men that have had dysfunctional backgrounds and you know trouble backgrounds and they did not have a good relationship with their moms and it's just like damn. But I would say every guy that I've dealt with and overall they did love me, they did take care of me, they didn't dog me. Have I gotten cheated on? Of course. Have I gotten mistreated? Of course. I've been through all that, but for the most part they treated me like their lady. They gave me my place. You know, they they did what they had to do with me. I mean, first of all, I'm not a nothing as female, so you can't just treat me any old kind of way.
Anyway, and
Shoot.
you from New York too.
Yes, so
You know
you
what I
already
mean?
know.
Oh, already
They
know,
get
right?
rowdy over
That's what
here.
it's crazy, right? They say New York women be so aggressive and like, but you don't. I mean, you don't really give me that
And that's
feeling.
the thing, you know, I've always been different. I've always been different in my childhood, amongst my peers, everywhere. One thing about me is I'm very well balanced. I'm from New York. I could be hood. I could be rowdy. I could be ghetto. I can be all of that. Because first of all, there's some of that everywhere, you know. But New York is very known for that, and the women there, we are aggressive. I can't deny it. But I was raised by a mom who was raised by her grandmother. So my mom instilled a lot of old school, you know, like theories and you know, I was being raised to be a housewife because my mom was a housewife. And you know, my mom, she was crazy too, but always had like this calm spirit, and I just never understood it because I knew how crazy she was, but you couldn't just get her out of her character, you know.
Yeah.
And it took a lot because I was very feisty when I was younger. I got into, you know, I was a fighter. I was, but everybody always knew.
Once a
Even
fighter, always a fighter.
listen,
But it
I
don't got to be in the physical though. You get what I'm saying? It
exactly.
could just be life,
And
fighting
I've been
life. You
an,
feel
yeah,
me?
and I'm an advocate. I've been an advocate my whole life. You know, I'm a criminal justice major. I've tried to get into law school. You know, so of course I want to be a lawyer. So that's always gonna be in me. But what people need to realize is that you know, you get older, you change. At least I did. I learned from my mistakes. I wanted a different life. You know, I want a different scene atmosphere. I didn't want to be known as oh the fighter or you know whatever, like regardless if I was in the streets fighting or not, I always had respect, I always had morals, I always been well mannered, you know what I'm saying, like we're not gonna act like that wasn't a part of me because the way I was raised obviously. But yeah, I mean I could be a little bit of everything, and no, I choose not to be that way rowdy because I've understood that. And you know in all of my fields I've always been a career woman. It doesn't call for that, you know. And I want to be seen in a different light. Not that I'm being fake or denying who I was. It's not a matter of who I was. Is I was growing up in the hood, so I was adapting to my
Survival.
survival. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you know, I
Survival.
grew out of that.
Environment.
But like you said, don't test me either. And,
Fact.
you know,
Fact.
I
And look,
spared a lot of people throughout these years.
this is another thing too, right? Like a lot of men say, "Oh, women is aggressive now or masculine and this, that, and the third, right? But my whole thing is this: like a woman, the most masculine woman is going to naturally go into her state around
Right.
a masculine man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A real divine
Mhm.
masculine man. not just a masculine
Right.
man, but a divine masculine man.
The thing about that is that I live in the South now. So, I come from the East Coast, Midwest, you could say, Cleveland, because I also lived in Cleveland for 10 years. And now I'm living in the South since 2021. And, I've been on the West Coast a lot. So I'm seeing a lot of the different lifestyles and how women are and men are in different ways. First of all, there's some of, like I said, there's some of everything everywhere. But obviously, culture and, religion and traditions are different in every region, right?
Facts.
However, that statement you just made, you cannot expect a woman to be submissive. And this is not the Southern Bells, because like I said, I'm there now, and I'm not knocking the Southern woman, but there's no such thing as Southern Bells. You know what I'm saying? Because you go down there, you're gonna see a lot of stuff. You're expecting these women to be a certain way, and they're really not being like that. And there's this stigma of they're slow. No, those women down there are not slow, or the men. It's just they have a slower paced lifestyle. So they're not as knowledgeable or as experienced as up people up north, because it's so fast and so much going on over here, right? So being submissive is not for the weak. A man cannot expect a woman to be submissive when you're not giving, offering, or playing your role. If a man do what he got to do, and then that brings a whole nother conversation. What is a man? What does it take to be a real man? A woman will submit, or she will succumb. And you have to understand, a lot of women and men can't be what we expect them to be, because they weren't raised that way. They weren't taught that. They were missing a lot, in their life. So you're actually teaching them, and you got to have patience. If you really love somebody, you will take your time. Doesn't mean you got to put up with BS. I'm not saying that. But you have to sometimes change how you act, how you view things, and understand how the other person thinks.
That's that's big facts,
Yeah.
man.
And I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, that's big facts. That's big facts. You know what I'm saying? That's big facts. Um, that's what's up, man. You are very knowledgeable, man. You know what's going on, man.
Yeah, I'm
You
a very
definitely.
wise woman. Like I said, I've had a lot of boyfriends, a lot of friends. I've traveled a lot. I haven't been through I can't say that I had a rough life. I haven't, of course I've experienced trauma. A lot of my trauma is secondhand trauma, honestly. Experiencing and watching other people go through things. So I've learned a lot through other people's lenses. I would say as I got older, when I became an adult, that's when I started experiencing dysfunctionality and real pain and drama,
Heartbreak.
yes. And actually, yes, the first time I got my heart broken was in my 30s with the guy I was dealing with in Cleveland, Ohio, actually.
Really?
Yes. Never
Oh
knew what a
man.
heartbreak was. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not no joke.
Wow. Okay. It was in Cleveland, huh?
Yeah, it's a Cleveland dude.
Okay. So, all right. So, how did you say you met your last ex?
So I met him at it was like a bar type restaurant. It's a restaurant. Um, I was walking in, minding my business, and we went to the bar, got a drink. I was with two other female friends of mine, and we were walking across to the other side to go have a seat. And he walked up, he walked up on me in my ear on this side. He said, "Excuse you," trying to be funny. That's how he got my attention, which was really cute.
That was that
Cause
nigga.
this is like how I'm in your way. I'm over here minding my business. You come behind me talk about excuse you. So he got me on that one. And I'm very humorous. I love to laugh. So the thing is, I didn't know it was him yet. So he said, "Excuse me." He said, "Excuse you." So I turned around and I said, "You excuse." I'm thinking he's trying to get by. And then he moved. So I didn't really turn around completely. I just remember his voice and I seen like his side view. Because I just went like this, like, "What the hell is this in my ear like that?" So I just looked, didn't really, you know, I walked off. Next thing you know, I'm standing over there, and then I seen a guy on that side next to me. Now I'm seeing his other side. He was dancing. I just remember saying to my friends, "Who is that? He is cute." Now it's very difficult for me to find people attractive. For me to say, I could judge people, but it ain't for me.
Facts, facts,
It's not easy to capture me. It's not. I don't get
facts,
moved easily. It
facts.
takes a lot, and I'm not sounding conceited or anything. Just I know who I am. I know what I bring, and I'm not a normal regular female. Like I'm a lot in every sense of the word. Okay. So when I found that I was attracted to that guy physically, my friends was like, "That's the guy that just came up to you." And I was just like, no, it's not. It was like, yes, it is. But again, remember, I didn't turn around all the way, so I wouldn't know that. I didn't see what he had on or anything.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, that was him. Shit. Okay, cool. So they was like, you ain't gonna talk to him. Because the reason why they say that is because I was in South Carolina for like almost 2 years, and they try to hook me up so many times. But again, I don't just talk. I'm a relationship type woman. I don't really do mess arounds. You know, again, I'm not no angel. I've done me, of course, but it comes a time for women, I would say, and even men too, where they chill. They not trying to be out here. They not trying to sleep with everybody. They want their peace. Peace is it looks a little different.
Just because you attractive does not mean you're lonely.
Exactly.
Just you're lonely just because you attractive.
Exactly. And you know, you don't. Not everybody want everything and everybody. You know, there's limits. You know, yes, we do have dog ass men. We do. We have hoe ass women. Have you want to call them? You know, I don't like to call women hoe, but you know, there are limits. Like if you overdoing it, then you a hoe, ma'am. Like you know.
Fact. That's fact.
But it's hard. Like it was just. Yeah, yeah, you do. That's right. So they were doubting me. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna get his attention. So I waited till he looked at me, and I was like, he was, of course, he hit me with the.
What was his sign?
He was a Libra, and I'm a Leo. So you know, Libras and Leos.
Yeah.
That right there is crazy. It's a crazy combination.
Always expand.
Huh?
Air and fire.
Yes.
And air always expand.
But especially them Leos and Libras. It's just that right there. That's dangerous. Gotta be careful. Clearly. And then he came, he walked over, and we sat down in the back, and we just talked the whole 30 minutes we were there. And he was the first man to, I like to say, to mind fuck me. Because I don't get mind fucked. Excuse my language. I don't like to curse. But yeah, he got in my head. Very, very intellectual man. I don't know. It's just like normally I dominate the conversation. You know, I'm a conversationalist.
Or a wizard.
No, he wasn't, but he was just very wise because he's been through so much. Like he was so street smart and book smart. You know, and when he was younger, he got skipped a grade. Like he was just a very intellectual. His wisdom was crazy. You would have thought he was a warlock, but he wasn't. He just was very well rounded, and it's just like everything I said, he just had a comeback. Like he would shut me down every time. Like I wasn't dominating the conversation, and I appreciated that. Yes.
You was learning.
Exactly. There you go.
He stimulated your mind.
He did. He sure did. And I appreciate that.
So y'all exchanged numbers. Y'all was at so was it a restaurant?
It was like a restaurant / bar. In this restaurant, they do like artists performances and stuff like that. And you know, I'm in the industry, the music industry, or like, entertainment industry. That day was a very tough day for me too. I had so much going on, from music videos to photo shoots. I'm talking about 3 events that day that I was involved in. And at the end of the night, my girls was like, come on, let's go out, let's go celebrate. And I'm like, okay, because that day was the last day of I was going to transition to something new. I was going to start into I was going to go into managing artists, music artists, and you know, just get into acting. And so I was like, you know what, let's go. And then I met him. We exchanged numbers. Of course, he texted me.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
How long was you down there in South Carolina before y'all?
Like 2 years. I moved there 2021, and I'm him 2023.
Okay, so 2 years.
Like 3 years, 2 years.
So
yep.
Boom. Y'all exchanged numbers. You know what I
He
mean?
hit me up the next day.
He hit you up the next day. He was on you.
I mean, you didn't see how he attacked me. I told you he just came up to me telling me to excuse him, and he in my way. Yeah, we text back and forth. He was an artist. I did not know he was an artist, but I found out the night before because the whole time we were talking, he never introduced himself as an artist. He was just telling me about his personal life. And right before I left, somebody announced his stage name, and the owner,
he had some clout.
He did. He did. You know, one thing I would say more than anything, that guy was a very attractive guy. He was, and
you said that like 9 times.
he was like he was very attractive. So I would say
so
his yes, I was gonna say that. So his looks and his personality already drew a lot of attention to him. You know. Okay. So that I would say I'm not gonna say he wasn't famous for his craft, because obviously he was. He had two hit songs that will forever be, will
Really?
go. Yes, he did. He had a song on the radio for 8 weeks. Yeah, yes, he did. And actually, the only one in South Carolina, Columbia, to be exact. And I say this, this will bring a whole nother subject, but it's just that he went through a lot. He went through a lot in Columbia, South Carolina. People accepting him and giving him his flowers, and treating him as an artist, which is one of the main reasons why things escalated. And I know some people that don't know, more people know that don't. Oh, that happened because of what happened with her. No, people, you're not an insider. You don't know what happened. Only the insiders know the truth of what led him to that tragedy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I was a bystander in a way, because I was his lady and I was there with him. So I had to
And you don't
literally
sound
catch the bullet for everybody.
you don't sound bitter or nothing. You don't sound mad. You don't sound angry. You
People,
sound at peace. You
listen,
really sound like you at
let
peace.
me tell you something. Just this past 3 weeks have been very tough for me, very depressing, crying. It's hitting me hard. It is. But one thing about me, I'm very charismatic. I love to laugh. I love to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to be down, and it's not about being in denial. I'm very prideful. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to
Leos are. Have you
we
noticed?
are, but I'm not going to
Leos are.
deny how I feel either. And I'm not asking for pity. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me. People are genuinely giving me their condolences, and that's what I like. But one thing I'm not a hater. You and I could go through whatever we went, and I don't want to use the word hater, but we could go through anything, and we could stop talking. What I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna go around bashing you, putting you down, telling people the whole world, because one thing don't have to do with another. Yeah, we went through what we went through, but you still this great person. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? You still talented. You still the man, or you still that woman. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to. One thing I'm not never gonna do is put somebody else down to make me feel good or to lift myself up. Cause I got my own clout, like me itself, like I'm my own brand.
Talk
You
that.
know.
Talk that talk.
But no, I'm at peace. The thing about it is, people, the haters, and when I say the haters is his little side hoes, his side bitches, the people that already didn't like me, I guess because they wanted him, or he was cheating on me with them, whatever the case is, and that's why they don't like me. They think they know, but they don't know. Even some of his friends who was sitting there talking shit about me, they don't really know the truth. You know what I'm saying? And they probably feel like, oh, she going around acting like she don't care. I'm not walking around with guilt. That's why it seems like I'm at peace. I'm at peace as far as that. I don't feel guilty about anything because I didn't do that to him. I try to help him. I try to stop it. Nobody has any idea what I was experiencing or going through in that house with this man. Except the insiders, like I said, his close friends, my close friends. Not even my people knew what was going on because I was keeping it from them. But his people knew. His mom, his people knew what was going on. So I don't feel guilty.
Yeah.
um, I feel horrible that he's gone because he is gone. He's deceased. I feel horrible because I have feelings for him. I cared for him. I miss him. I can't even deny it. I do miss him. I was with this man for almost 2 years. We lived a life like that. Relationship was a functional relationship. It was a stable relationship. Like we had a lot of good times. Like we were so compatible. We got along. Like we could talk for hours. Like the song talk for hours and hours. Like strip and lobster. Like it was a fun relationship. But um I don't feel bad either because he tried to take my life. How can I feel bad for somebody that shoots me in front of my two kids?
Yeah.
You know? And I know he got friends and family and even a child that cares about him and probably would differ, but it's like I can't put myself in their shoes. I did that for too long, and look what happened to me with him. Nobody was dealing with him. Nobody wanted to help him. Nobody wanted to step in because everybody was scared. Everybody was nervous. Nobody, they knew what he was capable of. I didn't. I'm learning him as I'm going, and I'm like, whoa. I'm noticing things. I'm trying to get out the relationship, which ultimately is the reason why he did what he did, because I did not want to be with him no more, and he was not trying to let me go.
Mm.
So yeah,
Did you ever ask him how long was he single before he started messing with you?
no, I knew his situation. It was not a good situation. I should have never even got involved in it. He was seeing somebody before me, and according to him, she was pregnant. Then she lost the baby because we were friends first. Like what I'm saying, when I got to know him, I was like, all right, let's just get to know each other first, talk before we even got involved. So it wasn't a long. Either way, it wasn't a long time. It was probably like a month or so. But in the midst of all of that, a baby was lost. They weren't really together. He was just, trying to handle the situation. Somebody tell you they're pregnant, even if y'all not together, you trying to figure this out, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, well, you figure that out, and I don't know. I can't tell you anything. I'm not gonna be with you. You got a whole situation going on,
yeah.
and apparently she lost the baby, and they just went their separate ways. Like they never spoke again.
Damn.
I don't know.
Okay. So, like, what was like? All right, so y'all were together 2 years, right? How long within a relationship until you start seeing like the first signs of like the craziness? Like how? Like was it soon? Was it in the
Yo,
middle? Was it
it was
in the
like
end?
within 3, 4 months.
So
He
90 days
choked me
max.
out. He choked me out within the third 90 days. Choked me out like I went to sleep and came back. And I didn't even put my hands on him or anything. I went like this. I think I went like this to him, and he snapped.
Yeah.
And I
Mm.
was just like, whoa. So I've been trying to break up with him since I got with him. I know that sounds crazy, and I love saying that because if you know what that's like. And ignorant people would say, well, then why did you stay? Why did you stay? Why, if he was being like this, why would you not break up with him? It's not that simple. Again, he was more of a good man to me and my kids than he wasn't a bad. The thing is, he wasn't a bad man. He became a bad man at the very end. He was just very controlling, jealous, envious of my career, and he already had his mental issues before I met him. He had a lot going on. A lot of it I had nothing to do with. I don't know. I guess I was the wrong person. I was the right person because I gave him feelings he never felt before. I helped him through his journey. But then it was the wrong person because I'm the person that he felt that codependency with and just felt like he couldn't live without me. Like he needed me in order to survive and keep
No,
going.
Big Mama, Big
No,
Mama energy.
I don't want Big Mama
No,
energy.
Big Mama
Please
energy.
take this away from
He
me.
had Big Daddy energy. You
He
know what I'm
did.
saying?
He sure did.
It just gotta be evolved. You get what I'm
And
saying?
it
Both of them gotta
was.
be
And that's what,
evolved.
and this is why I kept staying because this man, he will do everything and anything to make things better. Anytime he messed up, you know how when men mess up and they talk
Oh,
about it and they ain't about
you
the
know
shit?
Libras are charmers.
They
They
are.
will
I have
charm.
2 Libra brothers. They even charm me up. Like, trust
Oh,
me.
you surrounded with Libras.
Yes. So I know exactly how they are. They are beautiful liars. Okay? Clock that shit. But you love it though. But you guys have more good than bad. That's the thing about Libras.
Unevolved
Yes, yes.
Libras, I would say, are beautiful liars. Evolved Libras are not because
Um he I don't know what he was. He preached a lot about his Libraness, and
he
I
did. But
did see it.
not to cut you
Yeah.
off, but when we talk about signs, like you got to really know the full chart. You can't
Exactly.
just know the sun.
Yeah.
You got to really get deep in there
Yeah.
to really know what it really is.
For sure.
You know, the sun signs is just surface.
Mhm.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but you can go ahead though.
No, I mean, it was complicated because he did everything he had to do to make things better. So it's like kicking somebody while they down. Like, okay, I don't want to be with you, but then here you go doing grand gestures and really being a man and showing what it takes to prove yourself. Like, okay, I could be the man you want me to be. So it's like, damn, how I'm gonna leave him when he's really being everything a woman would die for?
Yeah,
But it's like I'm past that, and this is what he didn't understand.
yeah,
I have everything I need. It's not about what I need. Like I said, all my relationships, They all bought me expensive gifts. They all took me out to trips. They all worship the ground I walk. They've all done that. So I'm beyond that. It's not about what I need. It's about what I want. And he didn't understand that. He didn't want to give me what I wanted. He felt like what he was offering is what I needed. And that's what he knew. And being a southern man is different too.
What was he offering? Like,
It's like
give
he
an example. Okay,
like the old school American dream.
So he was traditional.
Yes, he was, and he's from the South, and he was country.
Oh yeah, don't.
So
Country boys,
yo,
they old school.
Too old school. And I love it because I'm old school too, but I'm a spiritual person. I'm very liberal. I'm very understanding of there's nothing that's gonna shock me and it's gonna make me feel like, ew, how could you? Why would you? No, I'm the type like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna figure it out. Let's walk through this. Let's see why is this happening. Okay, I understand, or I don't understand. Even though I don't understand, it's not my place to say, well, why this, why that. The only way I'm getting like that is when it comes to my kids and my siblings and my nieces and nephews, because that's mine right there. But yeah, I mean, I appreciated him, but it's just like my dressing, for example. Let me tell you something. It took a long time for me to expose my body, like to show. Like the first time I showed cleavage, I was 27 years old, and I'm not saying I was a little angel dress. You know what I'm saying? But I love my breasts. Like my breast is one of my favorite parts of my. I love my legs, and I love these, and I call my titties my money makers that make no money. You know what I'm saying? He used to hate that. Like, why are you talking like that? And I'm like, it's a joke. Like, I don't know. My mouth is fresh. I got a fresh mouth.
Not to piss you off, but this with a lot of, because he sounded like he was divine.
He was.
He sounded like he was
he really was.
And you are divine, right? So when two divine people get together, it be seen in like, for one, the woman like, okay, I worked this hard. I got myself this far. It's kind of like y'all biggest fear is like a man taking y'all credit for what y'all put y'all like. Yep. I did all this myself. You just come to the equation. I'm not gonna let you take credit. You get what I'm saying?
And I can't believe you saying that. Those were arguments in my household. Oh, I'm sitting here paying half of the rent, and this is a. Before you came, I was paying this full rent by myself. You've never paid, and I'm not trying to put him down. You've never paid a full $1,000 and something rent by yourself. You're paying half with me. I'm not impressed by that. Before you came, I was paying it by myself. And I'm not sounding ungrateful. This is not, of course I was ungrateful because, now that he's paying half, obviously I'm pocketing the other half. Now I got a little extra money. I'm not going to deny that. But it ain't you ain't come. He wanted to put this narrative that he picked me up and I was this broken woman and thanks to him. No. Actually, before him, I was doing even better. For some reason, when I got with him, my money was just like decreasing. I was traveling, and not just me and my kids. And on top of that, I'm like a pescatarian. Like I'm expensive when it comes to my food. That's the one thing I don't play. I don't play about my food. We eating out, we traveling, we my kids dress nice. They expensive too. They was younger. Now, what I'm saying? Me too. Like one thing, I'm a fashionista. So it's like, you're not going to sit here. I've been doing this. Like I've been doing it big and I'm doing it less now that I'm with you because I'm focusing on your career and what you want to do. And you know what I'm saying? So it was one of those, like he wanted to take credit. He wanted to trauma bond. It was just a lot of shit that I'm just like, whoa, you invading my space. Like I ain't
block the sun. You don't want to.
Yeah, but like he told me, he said he didn't want me to be most popular.
Leo, that's one of the.
Yeah.
They are the sun.
Yeah.
How you gonna block the sun?
And that's what and the thing, what was crazy about him, like, it ain't like he was hiding it. It ain't like he was being shady about it. Like he would literally, we would sit down and he would have conversations. He's like, I don't want you to be most popular. I don't want you to do this. I want you to be my wife. I want you to be at home. I want you to support me, continue managing me, continue being my assistant, help me make it. And I'm gonna make sure you never have to work. He wanted me to quit my job and he wanted to just pay for. And you're saying most women be like, wow, yes, woohoo. No. I have a kid. I have 2 kids. I have a lifestyle to keep up, and I'm not about to sit here every time my kids say, "Hey, mom, can I get this?" No, you can't get this because I gotta ask so and so. We gotta wait. We're not doing that. My kids is used to. My kids was raised with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're not used to being told no. And I don't mean this like they just rotten spoiled, which they are. But my kids work hard and they earn everything they got.
How
You
old
know,
are your kids?
my daughter's 17 years old now, in sports. And one thing about me is I'm not just a mother, I am a mom. Like involved. Like I'm in there like swimwear. I'm at the games, I'm doing this, I'm taking them, I'm making sure that they live in, their age. I raised them way different from my upbringing. And not saying I had a tough childhood, but it's just I was in the streets. I was in the Bronx. I was in the South Bronx. I was up there. I'm gang banging. I'm out there. I was. My kids weren't doing that. It's just I still was a nerd. And that's what people don't understand. Like, how could you be this and that at the same time? My nickname was Gangster Nerd.
That's rough.
It was.
That's rough.
Because I knew I wanted a different life. I knew I was not about to just be out here fucked up in life. Hell no.
Right. So you finished high school.
I finished high school. I went to college. I graduated from John Jay College of Criminal Justice with my bachelor's degree. And I am currently in a master's program. I'm getting my master's in trauma informed education. Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I'm a certified mediator.
Certified mediator.
Mm-hmm.
You could mediate something.
Yeah,
What kind of mediation?
for sure. Everything, conversations, arguments, fights, anything. I hope you make sense of it. A mediator is not a counselor. A mediator is somebody that facilitates conversations and gives everybody a chance to be able to say their piece and come to a common ground in how we're gonna resolve this.
Right.
Which is, I'm an oxymoron in that because I have a problem with letting people talk in a way. So it's funny, like how can you mediate somebody's conversation but you can't shut up in yours? Whatever, because I get bored easily. And my thing is, and that's what I'm saying, like if you ain't talking about nothing, I'm taking over. Like, and I love giving people chances. I love to see, I want to see everybody shine. But if you wasting my time, I don't like learning. I don't like hearing things that I already know. Stop trying to teach me something I already learned. It just
I feel like you're talking down on me.
Yes, and
You know
I
what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with it.
Right.
You can learn from everybody. God
Right.
come in all forms. Ain't nothing wrong
Right.
with that. But sometimes a person could just automatically view you and put you in a box and not even know.
It's not their fault sometimes because a lot of people are ignorant, illiterate. A lot of people don't know a lot.
Sense is not common no more.
Right. And let me tell you something. And you know why people do that? Because they're always surrounded around people who are lesser than them. And when I say lesser, I don't mean like that you got better sneakers than them. It's just your knowledge, your mind, so you're used to doing that to people, not realizing like, hey, first of all, some people don't take it that way because they don't know no better. So they're happy to learn. But that's not me. That's not me, so you can't do that to me.
I told you. I understand, I overstand.
And I'm not putting nobody down, It took a long time for me to stand in the mirror and say, I'm that bitch. You're most popular. It took me a long time to take in my name. I would be shy and I felt a little embarrassed to call myself most popular because it's like most popular. Like, who you think you are calling yourself most popular? But I am most popular. You know what I'm saying? I had to realize like I'm beautiful. I had to stop dimming my light to not make other people feel away. Like, no, I'm beautiful. I'm pretty. I'm an amazing person, and I had to acknowledge that and take it in. It is what it is.
I love that, man. I love that, man. For real. Okay, so during, or you say he wasn't hiding that pretty much he wanted to control you, he wanted to change you. He wasn't hiding the fact. He was verbally stated to you, right? So what was your day-to-day like? You know what I'm saying? How did you feel? Did you feel yourself shrinking? Did you feel yourself getting bigger? What was it like?
Good question. Good question. So, again, I didn't know he was an artist. And then I'll tell you that day he went and performed. And I'm like, oh, as I'm walking out, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I want to record him. So I recorded him perform. I'm like, so you're an artist? First of all, I was never into trying to date an artist because I just know what it takes. My dad is a musician. And I came from that. Yeah. And I came from that, So I know exactly what that life is. But we get together. He's just starting his career. His career is taking off. He get with me. He's like, man, like I see you really about your business. You make moves, this and that. I want you to manage me. I want you to do this. That was the first battle. I don't want to be your manager. I just want to be your girlfriend. Like I promise you, like I just want to be your girlfriend. Like I haven't had no dick in so long. Like it's been years. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, I haven't had a boyfriend. Like I'm just happy to have a boyfriend. Like he and I understand this now that there was an end goal with him, and that's the reality. He was using me, and when I say using, and it's kind of messed up because with him, he took care of me. Like he took care of me, he took care of my house, he took care of my kids. Anything I wanted, he did it. Like he never told me no. The only thing he said no was if I said try this, and he really didn't want to eat it. That's the only thing he would say no to. He's like, I'm not trying that shit. But he was using me for his career. He was. Um, So obviously, it's like I was forced into being his co-manager. I helped him. I was his stylist. I was his assistant. I was his guidance. I was his everything. And we did listen to each other. That's one thing I say. He listened. Anything I tell him to do, like he did not question me. There was times he put on his man pants. He's like, I'm doing my way. I'm doing what I want. But for the most part, he did. He valued my opinion and my thoughts and my ideas.
Okay.
So somehow, some way, I got like stuck in that web of his career, and cause remember what I got lost in the sauce, and it was just like it was okay for the moment because we were making shit pop. Like he was doing him, and I was like, okay, he not playing. Like he went and got his LLC. Like he was about his business. So I'm like, okay, that's a man right there. Like I'm not. I don't. Exactly. Well, that's what I love. Usually, I got to repeat myself. With him, there's no repeating. I speak one time, and he was on it and beyond. I'm talking about I could be walking out the door and I can't find my phone. By the time I turn around, he's like here. I love that about him. Like he was, but then that was the problem. He paying too much attention. Can't get away with shit. So I got lost in that. So then, like I said, within 4 months or so, he started showing signs and this and that. Then he got into it with the people that he was working with, and he got upset at. He was taking it out on me, and things started crumbling, and with those people, and so he started saying things that I didn't appreciate, like you ain't do nothing for me, you're nobody, you're nothing, and I'm just like, what? I put my career on hold to help you. No, and that's I'm gonna tell you why too, because that first month that we got together, we went out to celebrate one of his. He did an interview and whatever, and he got so drunk, he was acting a fool with the strippers and disrespecting me. And I don't care about strippers. We used to go to strip clubs together. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't deal with women, but I don't discriminate. I'm not homophobic, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I have fun, and I'm like I said, I'm a liberal. Like I understand. I'm down for everything. But my thing is, you're not about to sit here grabbing a pussy and doing all that. While I'm right there. Like damn. And then he kind of was acting crazy when we at that same day. So I noticed a different side of him. So ever since that day, I said, you will never, as long as you're in this relationship, you will never fucking drink if I'm not around. So what he did was he just didn't really, he barely drank. Me too. In this relationship, we barely drank. We didn't drink like that. So he used to have a liquor of his own. Eventually, he came out with his brand, his liquor brand. So he would drink that. Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. Like he was the man in his city, and the way they did him, and I don't want to speak too much on that because I am gonna elaborate on that later on in my documentary. Motherfuckers is dead wrong, dead wrong. But it is what it is. And you see somebody else doing better than you, and in such short time, like who the hell is this motherfucker? Coming out of nowhere, blowing up. He got the girl. He got this. He got. You know what I'm saying? But he worked hard. He didn't work as long. And the thing is, he been doing music since he was 14 years old. And then he had some situations. He went to prison for 7 years. Then he came home in 2020. And ever since then, he been on the grind in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he didn't just come out of nowhere. And I don't know, but
What do you go to prison for? Yo, mommy asked.
I don't even want to speak on that, but yeah,
Next question.
yeah. It wasn't murder though. Okay. He wasn't in prison for murder. I'll say that. But they dropped. That's not what he went to prison for. Okay, um, but it was several things. It was just a whole bunch of things in prison adding up.
Talk about it. All right. So during this time, right? During this, you know what I'm saying, you see everything changing. or whatnot, did you have a support system? Or was your family like, or did you keep it like in the household?
I
Did it hid
kept
it
it and
and you didn't
I
tell
hid
nobody?
everything. Nobody knew what was going on. And that's what I'm advocating now in domestic violence in the industry, especially in the music in the entertainment field. Period. A lot of people, and abuse is not just for women. Abuse can be men too. Men are being abused too. You know what I'm saying?
So what's over here, boy?
It is. It is what it is. You be editing
You
or
know,
just completely? Oh, oh, okay. It's right here, but I don't really want to.
yeah.
No. People are experiencing abuse in the entertainment field and it's not out there because it's a lot at stake. There's the deals, there's the money, there's the fame. It's so much, and as you can see, some of them do speak out. Some of them go to court and put charges. Some of them put pictures of their busted lip, but barely and rarely. And for me, it was like I did not want
So you
to.
was like, what happens in this house stays in this house type thing.
That's the type of person I am. I don't like to make noise. I don't want to be. I don't want to give myself a bad reputation. I didn't want to mess up his reputation. I didn't want to put him in jail. Of course, I called the police 1,000 times. They came. I just wanted them to take him out. But squatter laws, you already know how that goes. And it's just like them. Of course, I could have easily said, "Well, I want him arrested. He keep beating me up, whatever." But it's just like I knew that if he got arrested, he was gonna be doing. He was gonna do a lot of time. And I didn't want to live with that. Like this man is in prison
He
because
was
of
still on
me.
parole.
He was no. He
Or he had
came
got out.
home he came home clean, and before I met him, he
So he
had
ain't had
caught.
no papers when he came home in 2020.
Right, he
Oh, that's
didn't.
cool.
But within those,
He
is
caught
it
a little
3 years?
case.
Within those 3 years, he caught a case, a weed case, marijuana case. So when I met him, he was dealing with that. So I helped him with that, helped him get out of that. They lowered his sentence, his probation. He got probation because he's supposed to get locked up.
Mm.
So that's when I came in and fixed that. And so actually, it's funny because last September, I paid for his probation for him to get off early. That was his gift, and and he cried, and we celebrated. That was the first time he said since he was 15 years old that he's been off papers.
Man, he's man, man on air, man.
So I'm just sitting there, I'm just supporting. I'm just a girlfriend. I'm just dancing with him, drinking with him. We chilling. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
feel you
happy
on
for you.
that.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
So yeah,
So you kept everything in
quiet.
the household. You kept it quiet. So you said in
Now when he
entertainment.
started putting his hands on me bad, that's when I started having to like I told one of my best friends
So
in
so
South
after the
Carolina.
first incident happened within 90 days.
Yeah, the
Then
90
what?
days he choked me. This was like April. Then he didn't put his hands on me again till like January of 2024. And when I say put his hands on me, he slammed me on the floor and then he choked me again. Went to sleep, woke back up, chased him, fucking stabbed him because he got me fucked up. He ran like a little bitch. Then he came out with his gun. He acted like he was gonna shoot me and my neighbor, but he didn't. He just ran off, got in the car and left.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
took him back after that, which I should have not. I did take him back. And then from January to June, now June was the first time he striked me. And I don't know. It just
So
went
June.
crazy.
Okay. So how did you cope? Like going through all of these, every day, whether it's verbal abuse, whether it's
The
emotional
crazy part is
abuse.
he never verbally abused me. It's crazy. Like he never called me out my name. He was never like it wasn't that type of that's what I'm saying. Like we had a stable relationship. It's just it was more like jealousy and rage and envy. Whenever because I was also a musician myself. That's how I started off. And here in Cleveland, recording music. Whenever I would say I want to get back in the studio, oh, forget about it. What are you trying to get in the studio for? You're the podcaster. I'm the artist. I should be the one. We should be worrying about me being in the studio. We're trying to help me make it. Sweetheart, I've been doing music since before I met you. I got recorded songs. Like, I got music. Like, what are you talking about?
Actual musical
Right. Like, why are you the only one that can do music in this household? And so whenever I would try to make plans to work with a producer or engineer, forget about it. The acting, I was doing the acting before I met him. Then I started doing it again. Then I brought him in, got him into acting. The modeling, I am a model too, and I do fashion shows. I produce fashion shows, whatever, and I manage models. When I got into that, I put him in it. Got him dancing, got him modeling. Fuck it, like I'm not a gatekeeper. I can't stand a gatekeeper. And I got him in everything that I did. I got him involved. The only thing I did not get him involved is if I was partnering with somebody else, and it's something that we were doing together. Then no, I'm not. No, because that's not just mine. That's me and theirs. And even that he didn't appreciate it. Like I had a podcast with this guy before I met him. He broke that up.
Mm. Okay, now look, I got a question, right? I was like, I want to ask her something because when I had watched one of the YouTube, I ain't gonna say documentaries, but videos on y'all.
It is documentaries.
Case, right? I seen right where they had put in a clip where you and him was talking about walking into an establishment and whether or not if people know if y'all together or not.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I was thinking like if y'all are in a relationship, I was with him. I'm like, y'all live together. What you mean? Y'all together. But then I had to think like outside looking in, you feel me? They don't, it could be business, it can be anything. You get what I'm saying? But then I was asking myself, okay, what kind of energy is she giving off to these people to make him think like that? You get what I'm saying? Was it flirtations? Was it being overly
And that's a fair question. Thank you for asking that. Yeah. So the thing about that is his brand his name was Get It Brown, his stage name, and his brand was the ladies love brown and they all get down. That was his slogan. Again, I'm on manager mode. I'm your girl, but I'm also on manager mode. Obviously, he didn't disrespect me. He didn't play with me. When females tried it, like he shut it down. Like that's one thing I could walk with my head up high with this man. And of course, he was doing a lot of shit behind my back. Unbelievable. But when I'm present, it was none of that. And I'm not the type. I don't need you to be kissing up on me and touching up on me. Cause when I want to show that this is my man, I'm gonna sit on your lap. I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna rub your head. I'm gonna grab your dick if I have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm cool with that. But I'm a professional, and I understood his brand, and that's how
he looked stupid in public.
Right.
That was his whole thing. Or
no. So we came up with this thing because we know that your brand is the ladies of brown and they all get down. Women don't want to see a woman on top of this man. You know what I'm saying? Because they praising him. So I say, I will give you that respect. I'm not, I'm gonna play my role, but remember, you gotta give me my respect too. Right? It's entertainment. So we were good with that. Never had no issue. That's what I'm saying. Like he never accused me of me wanting people. This is crazy. We will get into it because how somebody else looked at me, how somebody else wanted me, how somebody else felt, and I'm like, who cares about how they feel and how they looking? People gonna look. Women are looking at you. It is what it is. But no, never disrespectful, never flirtatious. That's the thing. I have a big personality, and I know people are seeing this now. When I was with him, I was shut down. I was quiet. I'm sitting. I'm just not being myself. You know, out of respect for him because I know that, and it wasn't even out of respect. It was just more dimming my light because I know when I speak, heads turn. I know I'm a very intriguing person. Like people look at me, people are curious about me. Who is she? How she sound? Where's she from? I have a heavy accent. My smile. I'm a beautiful soul. Like
Leo.
I'm a beautiful soul. Leo, just me. Anything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to take nobody's shine. So I got to shut myself down and just put my head down.
So you was
walking. So that whole walking in is like you can assume people together and you can assume they're not. Most times that we're walking in on work mode. We got equipment.
Specifically, when you were talking about that situation with him, was y'all together or not?
We were together. So the problem is that he was upset because people threw their shot. People getting,
Oh,
they're getting in the DMs and trying to talk to me, and he feel like, well, if they know we together, they shouldn't try to be talking to you. Motherfuckers is disrespectful. Are you guys friends? Do you guys know each other? No, but they seen us around. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares, unfortunately. You know how many women got in his DM and they knew for sure that we was together? What am I supposed to do? Get on live and do a shout out to all them bitches and nah. What did you say to them? Let me see what you wrote back.
right.
I shut it down. I don't even. The thing about it is, I don't respond. And he wanted me to be. He wanted me to act like I was from New York. He wanted me to get rowdy. He wanted me to curse these men out. I'm not entertaining nobody. I never been like that before you. I'm not gonna be like that now. Now, if you come directly, somebody sending me a text saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm not responding to that. I'm not even wasting my goddamn fingers to say, "Please don't text me. I got a boyfriend." I'm not responding to you. You gonna stay right there.
You ain't even giving them the time of day.
I don't do none of that. I don't play
So,
none of those games.
so you never really answered the question on how did you cope? Like you just was by yourself. You never told nobody. So how did you cope?
Lots of arguing with him. Lots of trying to make him understand.
So it was never nothing with like just really with just focusing on
I
yourself.
did. I ended up going to anger management. I remember,
Okay. Did
and
that
even
help?
it helped me. But even she wouldn't understand, why do you keep staying with this man, and this man is not. He's not lifting you up. Like, he wasn't lifting me up. Like,
You felt like you needed anger management?
no, I needed anger management even before him.
Oh, okay.
I ain't perfect.
You a Leo. Yeah, that's Leo. Yeah. For
Even
sure.
before him.
So you was working on it though. You like, man, let me get myself together, man.
So
This
the
is
thing
man,
about
come
it
on,
is,
man.
before him, I was broken. But by the time I met him, I already 2019 was the year that I said to myself, enough is enough. I'm gonna work on me. I'm gonna make my life better. I'm gonna make changes. I'm talking about from losing weight to changing the way I eat to the way I think. Like, I made a drastic change in my life. Accepting, my wrongdoings, being apologetic, um, being open to hearing other people's sides, people that I heard, people that I mean, my family, my siblings, my kids. It was just a big change. So then when I moved to South Carolina, I'm still working on myself. So then I meet this man who's going through all of this. It's just like, I'm past that. I learned from my mistakes. I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like I seen, and that's another reason why I guess I kept staying. I just kept trying to have faith, and I felt bad because like I seen a lot of things about me in him, and I'm just like, okay, he just hasn't grew out of that yet. Like, he hasn't learned from that yet. I did. So I'm trying to be patient with him because he does have a lot of good qualities. And I see that he really does he wants this. Like, he want to be a better person. But those demons, they just wouldn't allow him. So me, it was a lot of,
Just
just quiet, just working, just pretending
working.
like it wasn't even happening.
Wow. Okay.
Staying strong.
Okay. So what does healing look like for you?
um, again, the more time passes, I am healing, but it's getting a little harder too, emotionally. Mentally, it's getting better because when you go through things and time heals everything. The less you think about something, obviously. But emotionally, like, sometimes it's been hitting me lately. Like, he's gone, he's not here. I'm very angry at him because,
You
I
don't seem. You don't seem. I mean, like your natural. You don't carry it though.
I don't.
You don't carry it.
It's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's not in me. There's times I get angry because this is what I'm angry at. The reasons supposedly why that whole tragedy happened. That's what I'm angry about. He framed me. He put this narrative out there about me that is not true. And again, my pride is always gonna be, I don't give a damn what nobody has to say about me. I know the truth. But it's just like, damn, like, I work very hard
Legacy and
for my
reputation.
legacy and my reputation, for you to come and try to tarnish me on purpose just because you're angry and you're not getting what you want. And I hate that the world, because my story is around the world, like the whole United States, from Cali to freaking shit, Maine, the state of Maine. And it's just like, yeah, these people don't know me, but the fact that that idea is out there, oh, he did that to her because it is, or he did this to her because of that. That's not true, and I gotta live with that. And the reason why I'm angry at him is because he's not here to clarify that. So anything I say is always gonna be like my word against him, his against mine. It's like that's all I got is my word, and that does frustrate me for somebody to just lie on you, and it's like then you go and take your life. You a coward. Like you should have dealt with your consequences. You planned my death. Like was you was working on it, so you should have been a man and stuck around for it.
Yeah. Did you go to the funeral?
No, I did not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you gotta protect
The
yourself.
day before, yeah, because it was a lie. His friends and family was trying to, I wouldn't say accusing me for it, but they was coming down on me. I mean, obviously they're angry, like, oh, he shot you, and then he went on a high speed chase, and then he killed another man and a dog, and then he took his own life. He shot himself. So it's like that was a lot for his family too. So, but no, I'm not going. You fucking try to take my life in front of my kids. He shot me in front of my kids, December 28th, 2024.
Where did you get shot at on your body?
So he aimed for my stomach, but we were so close range when I jumped. He got me in my upper right thigh, and it came out through here in the bottom.
How long was
Like
you in the
the
hospital
the
for?
bullet came out right away. I was only in the hospital for like a couple of hours. It's crazy.
What you shoot you with?
A 9
How long?
millimeter.
How long point?
I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
What's crazy? He always had that gun, but he always kept it away from me. That's the crazy part. He never threatened me with that gun. Besides that one day, but I mean, I did stab him, so you know, shit. I probably try to pull out a gun on you too. If you stab me, so
Well, you hit him at. I mean, he did something to you.
right. He fucking choked
Yeah,
me.
he put you to sleep.
Right. So when I woke up and I seen the screwdriver, I just grabbed it, bam, and then he ran in his back. But
Oh, you remember? Because most people don't remember when they get up.
nah, I just got up. I just remember he was just this happened in the car because I'm trying to drive off, like leave me alone, and he's trying to take my. We fighting for my keys. Then he just choked me.
Mm,
So I went down. And then when I woke back up, he was just sitting there, just looking at me,
mm,
which is weird. Yeah. So I don't know. It was a real weird relationship. But the thing about this is that this is who he was. He told me he was a man beater, a woman beater. He
mm. Okay, so it sounds like a beautiful liar, but you saying he was keeping it 100. It
he
sounds like.
was about a
So
lot of
how
things.
he
He was telling me how horrible of a person he was. He would tell me he would confess a lot of things that were like, what the fuck? Why are you even telling me this? And
but you stayed.
again, because nobody's perfect. People do things and people want to be better. And he was showing that.
Yeah,
He would cry to me. He would tell me like, I don't want that to be me. I want to be different. And like I said, he was really showing and proving.
yeah,
So it's like, how I'm just gonna say F you, but I should
yeah,
have.
yeah,
And then when I tried to, it was obviously too late.
yeah. So, what advice would you give the youth, early 20s, teenagers that's dating? What would advice like? What signs would you tell them to look for in the beginning? You get what I mean? Like, what signs would you tell them to look for in the beginning?
The reality is, when somebody put their hands on you, people say once you do it once, you're gonna do it again. More than likely, it's true. Like somebody put their hands on you in a specific way, you should walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't stick around somebody who punched you in the face or, choked you to sleep or, put you in the hospital, put you on conscious. Like there's no I'm sorry to that.
Yes.
So I guess violence and I guess sometimes people don't know how to express themselves and they get so angry that they result to violence. I am guilty of that too, which is another reason why I stay. Even in my last relationship, like it was a very toxic. I was with this person. I dealt with this person for 7 years, and it was a very toxic relationship. And I will always put my hands on him, and it was wrong. Yes, he did so many things that made me so angry that made me want to put my hands on him. But at the end of the day, it's not right. Keep your hands to yourself. there's other forms and ways to deal with your anger. Walk away, break up, but it's easier said than done, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really just tell people, if somebody put their hands on you, just leave. But that is the number one sign. If somebody's putting their hands on you, like
How long was you single before y'all got into a relationship?
me and my last guy,
Yeah, before him.
I was single for like 3 years.
Oh, so he did work on yourself and getting
That's what
yourself
I'm
together.
saying. Yeah.
Because you know
Yeah.
most people just jump right into another relationship with baggage.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
I'm saying I've done that. I'm not innocent, but
You learn from it.
yeah. But this time I wanted to do things differently. Like I remember, even my last relationship when I was just talking about, that's what I say I'm guilty. So I understand what that looks like for somebody be putting their hands on you and then saying I'm sorry. So it was just like, I mean, I had never experienced getting hands put on me the way he was. I never been punched out in my face and shit. But you know, I was taking it light because it's like, damn, I was being physically abusive in my last relationship. So let me try to work through this, and hopefully he'll understand that that's not the way to go. But shit, he took it too far.
So pretty much you just turn against it. One time they put their hands on you. I mean,
Just
each
the
person.
domestic violence, it is easier said than done. But the other important thing is, which is there's a lot of failed relationships. We normally and usually know what we want. We know what we want. But then we get involved with people, we're not getting what we want, and then we're sitting here trying to force them to give that. We're waiting around in hopes of. That's not how it works. Like my dad always told me, what starts bad ends bad. There's no going around it. And if if you're gonna um if you're gonna be involved in something that you're not getting what you need or what you want, and you keep demanding something, you're self-destructing. So that's something that we really need to work on when we get involved with people. Just, it's okay. Walk away. There's more people in the world. You're gonna find what you want, and when you find it, you're happy. Versus trying to force. It's like trying to put a circle inside of a triangle. Like, what are you doing? It's just not gonna fit. So acceptance, working on acceptance. Yeah.
So where can they find you? Where can everybody
So,
find you?
yes, I go by Miss Popular, the host of the Most Popular Podcast. And you can find me on YouTube on Most Popular, the number one podcast. And you can find me on all social media platforms as Most Popular or La Dama Popular, which means popular lady in Spanish.
Okay. I appreciate you for coming out. Um, I I pray and I wish for the best. And hopefully we can collab. You know, you're a content creator. I'm a content creator, and hopefully we can collab in the future.
Yeah, I look
All right.
forward to that. Thank you so much for having me on your platform.
You already know. And can you tell everybody to subscribe, like, and comment to D Smith and Honey?
Yes, of course. This is your girl, Miss Popular, and I'm here at the D Smith 100 podcast. Make sure you subscribe, hit like, and definitely share and tell everybody about Mr. D Smith.